Hi there. So where we just left off, we had just created a brand new skin on skin 4, and now we're going to take a look at the template.master file and start working with our new skin. So I'm going to open up the site files here, and if, as I mentioned before, you've got source code, this is what you'll see when you download AspDotNetStorefront. And if not, you may just have a web folder. And I'm going to go ahead and open up the solution file, and that kind of pulls all the files together for us. But you don't have to work this way. You can actually just work with the individual files directly. But Visual Studio is a nice way to go. And even if you just have the website, you can come up here and go File, Open Website, and then just browse to the folders and start working with them that way. So anyway, we're going to go find skin 4 that we just created, and we're going to work in app templates, skin 4, and we're looking for the template.master file. So I'm going to open that up, and let's take a quick scroll here through the template master file. So yeah, this is the file that has the HTML found in the template. So the header, the footer, the left-hand navigation, and then right here is where we output the main content of the website. So this is the dynamic part. And then you'll notice here, as I scroll through, that we've got some controls, and you'll also notice some tokens, and that's kind of what I want to talk about here first. These are the main way that we render out dynamic content from within inside the template. So this topic, for example, will render out the header of the website. And as I scroll down, this topic will render out the top navigation, so this topic control. And this is a search control. It'll render out the search box. And then scrolling down here, we've got some of our first tokens in the template. Here we're pulling in a string resource, which is just where we store text info in the database. So that string resource will pull in the word home at the beginning of the breadcrumb. And then here's another token pulling in an app config, pulling that out of the database, an app config named breadcrumb separator. So that's the separator found in the breadcrumb. And if we keep scrolling, we'll go past the content area here, and we call in just a couple more topics. We've got the vertical navigation being called in, and the footer and the subfooter where our copyright gets written out. So let's take a look at template.header, this topic, and this topic control here. And it's got a lot of tokens inside of it that are being rendered out that'll be good examples to kind of see how we can use tokens from within the template.master file. So the template.header topic has the logo coming out of it. It has this user greeting and the login and logout link, all of these dynamic items. And so let's take a look at how that's working. If we go to Content, Manage Topics, and then you just search for template.header. We can look in there, and I'll switch to the HTML view here, and we can copy that out. And there we've got, you can see some tokens inside of this HTML. So that's going to render out the logo. That's actually going to call another topic called template.logo, and this is where we get our username. So this welcome admin user, sign in and out link, that's going to make us link to the right page, depending on whether we're logged in or logged out. And then the same thing here for the sign in out text token, that's going to say log out if we're logged in, and vice versa. And then the shopping cart number of cart items here is going to count up the number of items in the cart and display that as well. So just as an exercise here, we're going to take this content and try to get it running from the template master file using tokens for the template master file. So I'm going to take this topic here for the header, and I'm just going to comment that out, and then we're going to paste in our code from the topic like so. And so these tokens won't run from the template master file, so we're going to need to go through and replace each of them. But let's just see what things look like here on the front end of the site. Okay, yeah, so we can see our tokens just need replacing. So to find the right tokens for those, I'm going to take a look at the manual, and we're going to find that up here. So if you first get to the manual, you'll click on multi-store here, and then skinning, and then look for tokens, so skin tokens. And this page just lists out all the different tokens that are available. So yeah, you can see right here we've got a couple that we're going to need to use. So first thing we'll do is replace this call to this topic. And with topics, there actually is a token for that, but we recommend using controls to call in the topic, because controls will actually parse tokens out of the topic you're calling, whereas the topic token doesn't parse tokens out of itself. So it might be a little bit confusing, but I can kind of show you here. So if we go to this token reference and call in this topic token, we'll want to put up a literal here. And we'll need a text attribute, and then we'll paste that in. And then you want to call your topic by name. So we're going to call template.logo, and then close off our literal. And let's take a look at the front end and see what that does. So we can see here something's not quite right about the image. And if I inspect that, let's try that. Okay, you can see here we've got a token right here for the skin ID for the image. So the problem here is that this token is not being parsed, and so if I switch that, you'll get the right image to show up. So that's why we like to use controls for topics. If you just have a simple topic that just has text in it with no tokens, then this will work just fine. So let's go ahead and copy our syntax from above here. There we go. We're going to call in the topic control this time, and instead of template.header, we want template.logo, and the casing doesn't matter on that. And now let's take a look. If I refresh, there we go. We got our logo working. But yeah, let's just kind of knock these out one by one. So username, we just want to output that on the page. So when you just want to put text out, that's when you want to use a literal. And all of these server-side tags need run at equals server on them. And we need a text node again. And let's see what we need to put in here. I just go up to the manual here, and we're looking for a username, so I will copy this guy and paste that into the text node, and we'll close off our literal like so, and let's see if we can get that username to show up. Boom, there we go. All right. So next, we want to replace the sign in out link and the sign in out text. So for the link, what I recommend, you could use a literal, but there is a tag. Let's just clean this up a little bit. A server-side link tag called hyperlink, ASP hyperlink. And we'll put run at equals server on that. And now what we need is a navigate URL. And the URL is what the token outputs. So I'm going to switch back over here, and we want the sign in out link. Copy that guy, put that in, and we will close off that hyperlink. Don't need our closing A tag anymore. So now we've got the link right, but our sign in out text needs to be replaced. And for just straight output, you'll want to use a literal. We can just copy this one from above. And we'll grab our token. There we go. And we'll put that in here. There we go. All right, let's check in and see how that looks. Nice. Okay, so we got our username, we got our logo, and we got log out. And I am logged in. And then if I inspect that, it's going to take us to signout.aspx, which is right. So the last thing here is the number of cart items. Let's go grab that. That one's called num cart items. And that is right here. We actually want those outer parentheses, but not the inner ones. And what I'm going to do is just borrow this literal for a second, and I will put it back. I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to copy that guy, and undo that. And there we go. We got our number of cart items. And there you go. So now we've got that rendering out pretty much the same way it was rendering out from the topic. So it's kind of up to you. Like, some people want to work in the template.master file, and some people would rather have things up in the topic so they can get at them easier from the admin console.